Hi, welcome to the Spacebin website. This is a video toolbox aiding you in changing components on a Spacebin to hopefully end any confusion and make your job easier. Today we're going to change a actuator, a working one, and then there will also be a section on changing a seized one, but this one is actually working, so I'll go through the tools that you're going to need. You're going to need a bin switch override tool. Now there's a section on making that if you don't already have one. You're going to want to take a torch with you, some sort of light source if it's dark. The actuator has got pins with circlips, so a small set of circlip pliers, maybe right angle, straight. Pair of side cutters, diags. There's some zip ties on the actuator you'll need to cut off, and you'll need to take some replacement ones with you. And a number 2 Phillips to get the back off the machine. First thing we're going to do is we want to make sure that the machine is safe and secure. So we'll put the brakes on. We're going to disconnect it from the mains as such. Now we want to install our override tool, so we need to press our e-stops in while we're inside the machine. As I said, there's a section on where this goes. But we're going to show you again here. Put your hook around the rope, pull him across, put it in the hole. Now it thinks there's a bin in there, so you're going to run the plate down to change the actuator. We need to turn our e-stops back on so the machine will run. Pull your door down. Now the machine is running down at the moment in a pressing mode. We want to run it right down to the bottom till it stops, and then lift your door or hit an e-stop. Then the actuator will be in a completely closed position, and that's the way you'll receive your new actuator. As soon as it stops, lift the door. We want to hit our e-stops, just for safety reasons. You could turn the key off as well, which we might do. We'll go around the back, grab our tools. Now we already have the back off this machine. You'll need to take it off, so there's a number of screws across the top, down the side. That's where your number 2 Phillips comes in. Once the back's off, you'll see this is the part we're talking about. This is your electric actuator. You can see when it's collapsed, the pins are free, so there shouldn't be any problem getting it out. Pin top and bottom, as you just seen on the video. So we've only got one cable tie on here at the moment, but there was probably at least 2 or 3 along there holding all that together. Anderson connections. Now they're obviously red and black. You want to make sure you get them back together in that order. So the first thing I'll do is take the circlip off the top pin. Need some light myself actually, but anyway, some glasses. There we go. Now don't lose the circlips. Make sure you hold on to them when you pull them off. And that pin, like I said, no tension there, that comes straight out. You can lay that over. Like I said, the bottom ones, you can use a straight pair as well. Sorry, I'm going to get a light myself. I should have had this on. Probably helps see anyway for the video as well. Come on. There we go. That's off. Put him up the top. Now your actuator's loose, so you should be able to just pull that bottom pin out as such. Now this is how you will receive your new actuator. It'll have the plugs on it, as I said, in a collapsed position as such. Now to put the new one in, we just reverse what we've done. Now we want to put the bottom pin in first. So the bottom pin's in. I wouldn't put the circlip on it just yet. As you can see, this doesn't line up. The reason for that is this bottom bin lift is on a bit of these gas struts, so it may lift it up or push it down. So that's all you got to do to kind of get that lined up. Grab your pin, get him in position. Now you can just lift that up or down. Put your pin in. Now you want to put your circlips back on. You want to hook your Anderson connections up in the right order. So red to red, black to black. You'll want to zip tie all that back together. Now circlips, as I said, should go back on. Not too much fuss, making sure they're in the groove. Now circlip, when you're done, you should be able to spin it in the groove. If you can't, that means it's not installed properly. Put the bottom circlip on. There we go. So now the circlips are on, the actuator is installed. We want to go back around to the front and we want to test to make sure it's still working, everything's right. Now we still have our override tool in here, so we need to turn our e-stops back on. Now you don't have the back on the machine, so if you can't ensure that no one is around and there's no safety, and we're going to turn the key on as well. Now the machine is retracting up, we'll just let it retract all the way back up because that's where it'll need to be to put the next bin in it. Looks like everything's working all right. Lift the door, engage your e-stops again. The most important part, or one of the most important parts, make sure you take your override tool out of the machine. We don't want to leave that in. Once that's out, we want to go back to around the back of the machine. And we want to put the back on and make sure all your screws are tight. And that should be the job done.